I now sort of understand the sentiments behind leaving things as they were. If it's not broken, don't fix it. In the past, I used to think of these people as being lazy, not being proactive. They don't want to make changes. They're not willing to be a leader. I used to think like that. And it's a projection of myself. I used to be very insecure in who I was. I was very insecure in how muted I was, how I was too shy to put forward my idea in terms of wanting to change things. So I projected that onto other people, and I thought that people who don't want to make a change, they're cowards, they're lazy, they are not being proactive. But now I sort of understand the sentiment behind leaving things as they were. You see, in our modern world, whenever you see these new first world problems popping up, you see all of this coming out of the woodwork nowadays. People demanding to be called a certain gender. The lines have been blurred. You don't even know if you're a man or woman anymore. And I'm sorry for being judgmental. I just find it difficult. I don't know how to put this in a nice way, but it's very difficult. There's nothing wrong with the way that we were before. Why do we need to come up with all these different pronouns? So many different. People pretending to be pets, people pretending to be animals. This shouldn't be even a problem. This is a first world problem, Anyways, I now sort of understand the sentiments behind, if it's not broken, just leave it. Return to tradition. When people say return to tradition, return to monkey, I get it. I get why they want to do that. And this concept can be applied to anything in life, really. In computing, people often say, hey, what the hell is wrong with my computer? And someone will say, have you tried pressing the on and off button? Have you tried turning it off and on again? Because I don't know exactly what happens when you turn a computer off, but I don't think anything happens. It's just a reset button, return to what it was before all of these problems have been created. Just return to a much simpler time. I sort of understand why that works. And in training as well, when people talk about a successful cycle, a successful meet, they don't mean a successful steroid cycle or a successful, piece of animal flesh. They just mean that looking back at the history, what has worked, what has helped them to get to where they were, their 1 rep max, what has led them to that glorious day in which their strength was properly expressed, And they try to recreate that. They try to take the things that worked and discarded the things that didn't work. And for me, I noticed that getting to where I was, I didn't do anything that is exciting, anything that is out of the ordinary. It's very boring. And I know training is very individualized. Everyone's so different. We are all the same. We're all humans. We all have sort of similar anatomy, but we're so freaking different. So many different factors contributing to how we train, how we recover, our lifestyle, our habits, our work-life balance, our motivation, what gets us going, what we are vulnerable to, what we are really good at. We're so freaking different, and you have to figure out a way that works for you. And for me, that is sub-maximal training. Not lifting over the limit. I know I could lift more, but I don't want to, because that's what got me to where I was. So I need to recreate that. And you can be a total geek about this. You can analyze the micro, the meso, the macro cycle, You can do all of that, but I like to keep things simple. Just for the sake of my mind, just for the sake of my peace of mind. I try to simplify things. If it's worked, I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm gonna try to recreate it. It's the same thing in other things in life as well. As you know, in medicine, when a patient gets started on a bunch of weird medications, and you're there scratching your head, asking why the heck have they been started on these medications? Well, let's look back at the history, past medical history. Why did they get started on this? And if it's not relevant, or you don't know why they have been started on certain medications, looking at the history and the presentation, then you can raise the alarm bell. Do we actually need this? Do we actually need to add an intervention to this? You can question these things, and just simplify everything in life, man. If it's working, don't try to fix it. Leave it as it is. And I'm not advocating to be a complete extremist either. If you're stuck in the past, if you're holding on to ideas of the past, even though our world has rapidly changed over the years, we are in a constantly changing world, and I'm by no means advocating for being stuck in the past. But you can take either approaches to the extreme. I think somewhere in the middle is the way to go. But the message is that if it's not broken, don't fix it. As always, hope you guys are doing well. Stay strong. God bless. And I'll speak to you soon.